Hi there, Mikhail. So nice to see you've sent us more essays. I know there's been a little bit of a delay, obviously because of the holidays. So let's take a look at what you did here. Okay, this is the one about the terrible restaurant experience. Here's what you said. Dear Sir, Madam, I am contacting you to express my dissatisfaction and request reimbursement for the poor quality of service I was provided at your restaurant on Saturday the 17th of December. Full stop here, don't forget that, okay? To begin with, not only did we have to wait for a table for more than half an hour, despite, after not only, you have to have a but, despite the fact that the reservation was made in advance, I see what you did. Yeah, I know it sounds a little strange here because you have but and then despite the fact, but it definitely makes more sense than to have the but here. Let me try it the way you wrote it. But I have to tell you the truth, it felt really kind of strange to me like that. So, to begin with, not only did we have to wait for more than half an hour, despite the fact that the reservation was made in advance, but we also had to reorder our meals twice due to negligence of the staff. Okay, yeah, like I said, I understand why you made that decision. It did feel a little strange to me, though, when I read it. So as an examiner, it's the kind of sentence I would probably have to read 2 or 3 times to make sure that it was accurate. Let's also try it the way I suggested and see if we like that better, okay? To begin with, not only did we have to wait for a table for more than half an hour, but despite the fact that the reservation was made in advance, we also had to reorder our meals twice due to negligence of the staff. I don't know. I don't know, honestly. I'm gonna put like a question mark right there as to which one I like better. Like I said, typically this is how we do not only, okay? Let me think about this. You know, thinking about it a little more, it might just be one of those sentences that throws one off because of the placement of commas. Maybe what you did here would have worked if you had not put the comma. I'm going to try it, as strange as it might sound, one more time to see if without the comma it makes sense. To begin with, not only did we have to wait for a table for more than half an hour despite the fact that the reservation was made in advance, but we also had to reorder our meals twice due to the negligence of staff. Yeah, that works. The other thing you could have said here is despite making the reservation in advance. That might have worked too, but it doesn't really change it too much. It just makes it a little less wordy, but it's fine. Okay, I think if you'd gotten rid of that comma, you might have been in a better position here. Okay. In addition, my fiance and I were utterly disappointed with the quality of food, especially the here seafood, which turned out to be undercooked. Ooh, dangerous. This is not to mention that vegetarian dishes were not available, even though we were told they, because it's plural, dishes, they were on the menu. If I had known that I would encounter such issues, I would have chosen another restaurant. That's a nice sentence. Good use of the conditional. Well done. Okay, no comma here. This is wrong here. So I believe this situation is completely unacceptable for a restaurant with such an immaculate reputation, and this is strange. What does that mean? And require immediate attention. Who? The restaurant or you? So it's really rather bizarre here. You were a little incorrect here with your articles. So this should have been a restaurant because it's not the only restaurant with an immaculate reputation. And here you need an article too. And this is just strange. I therefore suggest that I be given a full refund. This is nice. I await your prompt response. Yours faithfully. Okay, good. There's a lot here that's really nice. Obviously, I liked quite a bit of it. A lot of the language is really good. You've definitely tried to use some advanced grammar, and well done. There was that one sentence over here that was a little peculiar. It wasn't inaccurate, but I did have to read it a few times to make sure that it worked. And that's something you want to avoid. You don't want an examiner to have to read a sentence more than once or twice, okay? And then there were some errors in this last thing. You did have some nice advanced grammar, though, so that was really important. That's really good. So I don't think that these mistakes are going to be the kinds of things that are going to really lower your score, but I do want you to watch out for them to make sure that they definitely do not, okay? You covered all the points, no problems there, so good job. Let's take a look at your task 2. Okay, let's see what you did here with the tickets essay. In this day and age, attending cultural and sports occasions has become an integral part of a society. Okay, we don't call them sports occasions. You could have just said events here. It's all right. As long as you're not copying entire phrases from the prompt, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's fine, really. It's a kind of expression that's difficult to rephrase. I mean, one way you could have rephrased it is by saying, in this day and age, attending, let's see, plays, theater, concerts, and games or athletic games or something like that. I mean, if you really wanted to rephrase this, but it's okay because sports occasions is just incorrect. Okay. Whether or not overspending on these types of entertainment has a positive trajectory of development is a debatable question which should be addressed carefully. I personally tend to believe that it is a positive progress which not only allows high quality events to happen but also plays an essential role here in forming a healthy and culturally aware society. This essay will analyze this question using examples from FIFA and the CrossFit Games to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, good. Although tickets for some events, especially in the world of sport, could be unjustifiably overpriced, I would consider it as a necessary evil due to the occasional. I think this is what you mean when you say at times here. It's just strange to at times, okay? It's just not a really particularly natural expression here, so let's change it. Try it again. So I would consider it a necessary evil due to the sometimes immense costs involved in organization, or due to the occasional immense costs. But I don't even know why it's occasional. I mean, do you want to maybe just say that they're always very costly? I mean, I think that would be pretty accurate. But like I said, at times here, right after this too, is strange. Okay, the central reason is that large high-quality events require large sums of money to be organized. For example, a recent study by FIFA has demonstrated that it takes more than $100 million to host a football World Cup, including player salaries, stadium fees, and ensuring security, to say the least, hence overly expensive tickets. Okay, World Cup should be capitalized, and that's fine. That's a good sentence. It's fine. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that if spectators were to pay lower prices, they would get lower quality events. Get rid of that of here. I want to see one thing. Okay. Another point worth mentioning is that such events are essential for promotion of a healthy way of life or spreading cultural awareness. This is owing to the fact that watching your favorite team or athlete perform, get rid of the to here, can be extremely motivational for those who want without the S to be more active. Consistent with this line of thinking is that going to festivals or fairs, you mean fairs, get without the IE, can have an educational element. For example, a recent study by World Health Organization has indicated that the number of gym goers in the U.S. has almost tripled since the inception of the Reebok CrossFit Games, despite of the fact that spectator tickets are among the most expensive in the fitness industry. Thus, paying high prices should be considered as a contribution to building a healthy, more culturally aware society rather than a waste of money. Good. Let me see. Okay. In conclusion, although prices for some sporting and cultural events are unjustifiably high, there are still valuable benefits to be gained with paying extra money for attending them. Okay. All right. Here's my concern. I mean, I liked it. It was very, very good. But I do have a couple of little concerns. First of all, it talks about sporting or cultural events. You focused just on sporting events. Here's the good news. The good news is that you're fine. You are allowed to do that because it says that, or if it had said and, then you would be obligated, according to like those unwritten rules of IELTS, to talk about both of them. But since it had this or, you're safe talking just about sporting events, which is what you did, and that's what I wanted to just double check. So it's fine. If you wanted to be a little more conservative, you could have addressed both of them. So rather than talking about the World Cup, for example, you could have talked about, I don't know, some major cultural event of some sort that's expensive. So that's one thing. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, I mean, I thought you did a really good job of talking about why these tickets are expensive and how it's justified. Here, I didn't think you did such a great job of that. I mean, you mentioned to us that the Reebok CrossFit Games are really, really expensive, and that this is motivating, but you didn't really... I don't know. There was something about this. I liked the way that you justified the expense in the previous paragraph, and so I was kind of expecting a little bit more of that. You didn't include it. I guess it's fine. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of thinking aloud while I review this to make sure that you didn't really miss anything. I guess it makes sense because you're saying that these events are promoting a healthy way of life. I guess what you didn't do here is you just, like I said, you just didn't really talk about why we have to spend a lot of money to do this. In other words, couldn't we do this kind of thing? Okay, like couldn't we have a healthy way of life promoted in an inexpensive way? That's for me what's kind of missing. I hope that makes sense. You just mentioned this one example and that the tickets are really expensive, but you didn't really explain why the ticket has to be expensive and why this benefit that we gain here could justify this expense, and how, you know, such a benefit couldn't be gained in some less expensive way. So that for me was just missing. But as you can see, I'm really looking for details here. I thought it was a well done essay, really. I want you to feel good about it, but I also want you to see where you could potentially improve a little bit here. All right, so go ahead and correct these. I hope my feedback today made sense. Like I said, I've kind of been just thinking aloud, especially during this task 2. So if you have any questions, let me know, okay? But nice job overall. I'll be waiting for your next set. Good luck.